The Curious Case of Currency Weakness. 10 of the World's Weakest Currencies, August 2025. In a world dominated by the US dollar, the euro, and the pound sterling, it's easy to forget that not all currencies hold the same weight. For millions of people, a single dollar can be worth thousands, even hundreds of thousands, of their local currency. This isn't just a quirky fact. It's a reflection of deep-seated economic challenges, political instability, and in some cases, deliberate government policy. As of August 2025, here's a look at some of the world's weakest currencies, ranked by their exchange rate against the US dollar. 1. Lebanese Pound (LBP). At the top of this list, the Lebanese pound remains a stark symbol of economic freefall. Years of political deadlock, a crippling banking crisis, and a lack of sound financial policy have sent its value into a nosedive. The currency has lost nearly all of its purchasing power, leading to widespread poverty and a parallel economy where the US dollar is the de facto currency for many transactions. 2. Iranian Rial (IRR). The Iranian rial's weakness is a direct consequence of decades of international sanctions and political isolation. These measures have severely restricted Iran's ability to participate in the global economy, stifling foreign investment and international trade. The result is runaway inflation and a currency that has become almost worthless on the international market, forcing Iranians to rely on a mix of local currency and foreign cash to navigate daily life. 3. Vietnamese Dong (VND). Unlike the top two on this list, the Vietnamese dong's low value isn't a sign of economic crisis, but rather a strategic choice. Vietnam's government has intentionally kept the dong's value low to make its exports more competitive on the global stage. This policy has helped turn the country into a manufacturing powerhouse, attracting foreign companies and driving impressive economic growth. 4. Laotian Kip (LOC). The Laotian Kip's struggles are rooted in a combination of high inflation, a heavy reliance on a few key industries, and a mountain of external debt. Much of this debt is owed to China, tied to massive infrastructure projects that have yet to yield significant returns. The country's limited industrial capacity and import dependence leave the Kip highly vulnerable to economic shocks. 5. Sierra Leonean Leone (SLL). A history of civil war, political instability, and a weak economic infrastructure have consistently undermined the Sierra Leonean Leone. Despite being rich in mineral resources like diamonds and gold, the country has struggled to diversify its economy and maintain currency stability. This has led to years of high inflation and a currency that has lost a significant portion of its value. 6. Indonesian Rupiah (IDR). The Indonesian rupiah's position on this list is a lingering effect of past financial crises, particularly the Asian financial crisis of the late 1990s. While Indonesia has a much more stable and dynamic economy than many of the countries here, its currency remains low in value due to a history of high inflation and a continued reliance on foreign investment. 7. Uzbekistani Som (UZS). Uzbekistan's transition from a centrally planned economy to a market-based one has been a bumpy ride for its currency. The Uzbekistani Som's low value is a result of this complex transition, high inflation, and a heavy dependence on a few key exports like cotton and gold. 8. Guinean Franc (GNF). Despite Guinea's vast natural resource wealth, including bauxite and diamonds, the Guinean franc is one of the weakest currencies in Africa. The currency's low value reflects years of political instability, corruption, and a failure to diversify the economy beyond commodity exports. 9. Paraguayan Guarani (PYG). The Paraguayan guarani's value is closely tied to the country's economy, which is heavily reliant on agricultural exports like soybeans and beef. The currency is sensitive to global commodity price fluctuations, and persistent issues with inflation and limited foreign investment have kept its value low. 10. Malagasy Arriere (MGA). The Malagasy Arriere's struggles are a reflection of Madagascar's broader challenges. Political uncertainty, vulnerability to natural disasters, and a heavy dependence on a single export, vanilla, have created an environment where the currency is consistently weak. Why do currencies become weak? The factors behind a weak currency are often a mix of internal and external forces. Here are some of the most common drivers. Political and economic instability. This is a major factor for many countries on this list. War, civil unrest, and a lack of a stable government destroy investor confidence, leading to capital flight and a rapid decline in currency value. High inflation. When a country's prices rise rapidly, its currency loses purchasing power. This makes foreign investors less likely to hold the currency, further exacerbating the problem. International sanctions. As seen with Iran, sanctions can effectively cut a country off from the global financial system, making it nearly impossible to conduct normal international trade and leading to a significant devaluation of its currency. Trade imbalances and debt. If a country imports far more than it exports, it creates a high demand for foreign currency and a large supply of its own, driving down its value. High levels of public and external debt can also signal a lack of fiscal discipline, spooking investors. Monetary policy. In some cases, a weak currency is a deliberate strategy. A government may devalue its currency to make exports more competitive and boost economic growth. However, this can also lead to higher import costs and domestic inflation. While a weak currency can sometimes be a tool for economic development, for many nations, it's a symptom of deeper, systemic issues that have a tangible impact on the lives of their citizens.